Hi YouTubers, it's Evan and very important video. So I want to welcome you guys to the special video. So people in Cigar Gang, nice big ass Cigar Gang for life. People on YouTube, nice big ass YouTube for life. Welcome to my very special video. Just turn on my iPad to do the recording time. So just make sure I don't go over time. I think this camera can record at least 20 or 25 minutes or 30 minutes. So anyway, welcome guys to the special nice big ass video for life. I do apologize for the lighting. I can't do anything about it. So welcome guys to the 9 years since I started smoking video. So today is my 27th birthday. I am 27 years old today. Nice big ass birthday for life. And yes, 9 years since I started smoking. So this is a template right here. Right here, this is a template. And I'm going to start. So I turned the camera. I introduced the video, said hi, so this is going to be 9 years. People who are familiar with my channel know this video, like 1 year, 2 years since I started smoking, my teeth after 6 years, 7 years of pipe and cigar smoking, 1 year, 3 year, 5 years since I joined YouTube. Pretty cool, nice big ass YouTube for life, like the big ass cigar. I will be saying the word ass a lot in this video just to let you know. So if you're underage or you're a little kid, don't get offended. I do use profanity in my channel, just to let you guys know. I know people on Cigar Gang like the big ass cigar for life, but you know, some people might get offended, so if you don't like profanity, don't watch. So I do say ass a lot. So I explained how the video will work. So basically I'll be reading off a Word document, this Word document right here, and don't think I'm ignoring you guys. I know some people, when I don't give eye contact, people think I'm ignoring you guys and being rude ass like the big ass cigar, but I'm not. So I will be looking down at the Word document, so don't think I'm actually ignoring you, because just because I'm not giving you eye contact, I do have high functioning autism Asperger's, and people with Asperger's generally don't give eye contact and people think that's rude, but just because I'm not giving you eye contact doesn't mean I'm ignoring you guys or I'm being rude ass like the big ass cigar. So I want to discuss right now what I have used or smoked for tobacco products in the last 9 years. I've used cigarettes, cigarillos, tobacco blunts, cigars, little cigars, pipes, hookah, nasal snuff, and e-cigarettes. So yes, in the last 9 years, because I started smoking or using tobacco products on April 3rd, 2009, and now it's April 3rd, 2018, or 2018, I have used cigarettes, cigarillos, tobacco blunts, cigars, little cigars, pipes, hookah, nasal snuff, and e-cigarettes. That's pretty cool. So I've used a hell of a lot of tobacco products, a hell of a lot. So I want to discuss right now, I don't chain smoke and I don't smoke cigarettes anymore. So first off, just because I've tried a hell of a lot of different tobacco products does not mean I'm a habitual chain user. In other words, I don't sit there with a cigar in my mouth all day long or a pipe in my mouth all day long, nice big ass pipe for life. So yes, I may have tried various types of tobacco products, but I don't sit there and chain habitually smoke. I don't just sit on my ass like the big ass cigar and just habitually smoke. So I'm somebody who probably per day on average, and I'll get to this a little bit later in the video, probably twice a day on average I have a smoke. Next thing is I don't smoke cigarettes anymore. So I started smoking cigarettes back in May of 2009, and then I quit in November 2009, and then I quit altogether in May of 2010. It was something really stupid I did when I was 18. I'm not sure why I did it. Is I started smoking the pipe initially, the tobacco pipe. Then I went to cheap gas station cigars like not Black and Milds, what do you call them, Dutch Masters, and then I tried Newport cigarettes, and I'm not really sure why the hell I did it. I mean, it was a really stupid ass thing I did when I was 18 years old. Okay, I'll stop the language a little bit. So, I'm not sure why I did it, because it was kind of dumb. I would just kind of sit on my parents' deck, when I was 18 years old. Yes, I was of legal age, because the legal age in Massachusetts at 18 years old. I would, take 1 or 2 Newport mediums or Newport lights and just puff them. I wouldn't even inhale. I would just sit on the deck and just like puff them. So it's like I never smoked more than 2 individual cigarettes throughout the day. It wasn't like I was this huge time, pack and a half, 2 pack a day smoker. It's like I would smoke 1, 2. I think by September, October 2009, I cut down to 1 individual cigarette, not 1 individual pack, 1 individual cigarette, and then I cut altogether. And by May of 2010, 6 months later, when I was 19 years old, I was I would have a cigarette maybe like once every 3 months, like take a puff off here and there, you know. I was never like this huge time, like, you know, pack and a half, 2 pack a day Marlboro Red smoker with a terrible ass smoker's cough, like the big ass cigar. It's like, it was something dumb I did when I was 18 years old, and a lot of 18-year-olds do dumbass stuff, as long as it's not stuff that's hurting other people, so you get the point, big ass cigar for life. Next thing is, like I discussed how I don't chain smoke. I smoke in moderation, because smoking is unhealthy for you, so even though it's very enjoyable, I smoke typically twice a day, occasionally 3 times a day. Yes, I quit cigarettes regularly almost 8.5 years ago. So in November 2009, I quit them regularly meaning every day. So I was smoking 1 or 2 individual cigarettes, not 1 or 2 packs, 1 or 2 individual cigarettes, up until November 2009. Then I quit on a regular basis, on a daily basis, and then I quit altogether in May of 2010. So as of May of 2010, I was pretty much done with cigarettes. And it never really was a big thing. It was never really a big part of my smoking career. And there are periods, you know, through 2009, 2010, where I would, you know, what's the word for it? I would also smoke the pipe, the cigars, the hookah, that kind of stuff. And then there was times I would use like the nasal snuff, you know, the snuff. But it's like, I was never like this habitual chain, you know, pack and a half a day smoker who was hooked. I know people who've gone hooked on cigarettes. It was really terrible, so really sad. When was the last time I had a cigarette? In June of 2013. So in June of 2013, right after my 22nd birthday, I had my last cigarette, a Marlboro Gold or Marlboro Light. So that was the last time I had a cigarette. Ever since the middle of June of 2013, I have been completely cigarette free. So I have no interest in smoking cigarettes again. They're terrible, they're disgusting, they smell terrible, they're nasty, ass like the big ass cigar, so terrible. What I have never used for tobacco products. So I have tried, like I said, cigarettes, cigarillos, tobacco blunts, cigars, little cigars, pipes, hookah, nasal snuff, and e-cigarettes. What have I not tried for tobacco products? I have never tried chewing tobacco. I've never tried dipping tobacco. I've never tried snus or snus, American or Swedish. Some people pronounce it snus, some people pronounce it snus. So American or Swedish snus. Dissolvables, patches, gum, any kind of quit smoking aids. So never tried chew or chosky, you know, chaw, long leaf, plug, twist, you know, the long leaf chewing tobacco. I have never tried dipping tobacco, like Copenhagen Skull or Grizzly or Timberwolf or Cougar. Yes, it did sound right. And snus, never tried snus like Camel or Marlboro or Skull snus. Never tried Swedish snus like General, Mint, whatever, Discreet, there's a few other brands. So I never tried dissolvables like Camel dissolvables. Never tried patches, gum, any kind of quit smoking aids because I have no interest in quitting smoking. I will get to health in a little bit in the next page. But again, no interest in quitting smoking. So never tried any kind of like patch or the gum, the inhaler, the lozenge. So I would rather see myself develop something in the end. That's just me. So anyway, my favorite tobacco products is the tobacco pipe and tobacco cigars. So while I've tried a lot of different tobacco products like the hookah, the e-cigarettes, the nasal snuff, the little cigars, gas station cigars, the blind flavor black and mild, not really, so just kidding on that. My favorite types of tobacco products are the pipe and the cigar. The tobacco pipe, the tobacco cigar, not anything else, because I don't use recreational drugs, because drugs are bad. So I have my favorite tobacco product for a long time was the tobacco pipe, the briar, corncob, clay tobacco pipe, not roll your own tobacco, because I don't roll my own cigarettes for the last time. You put tobacco in a tobacco pipe, the bowl of a tobacco pipe. So that was my favorite tobacco product for a while, and now especially in the last, I'd say, 2 or 3 years, cigars are really actual premium hand-rolled cigars, not the crap, not the shit you get at 7-Eleven, or the crap you get at you know, Honey Farms or Cumberland Farms, that kind of stuff, but not the Black and Milds or Swisher Sweets, Garcevic, Gamer Phillies, actual premium hand-rolled cigars that have long filler or mixed filler tobacco. So Flor de Olivia, Padron, Punch, Ligori Cubana, actual hand-rolled cigars, nice big-ass cigars for life. Favorite types of pipes currently is briar and corncob. So really, I smoke nothing but briar and corncob. Really, I smoke nothing but briar. In the last year, I don't think but well, maybe I smoked a corncob pipe once. But really, I smoked my one pipe that I have, that I got from Piper and CHS's contest back in 2011. That's my favorite pipe. So, little bowl pipe, lasts about 15 minutes, you know, nice quick smoke in the morning before work at Rochester here, Massachusetts. So, nice quick smoke. Favorite type of cigars is the Churchill, Toro, Robusto, anything with a small ring gauge, aside from Lancero. So as long as it's not too small ring gauge, because what I find is with cigars, especially I've been smoking cigars a lot more, nice big ass cigars for life, is I find that when you smoke a cigar that has a tiny ring gauge, it really constricts the airflow. So I like cigars that have a small ring gauge, not those big fat cigars. I don't like big fat cigars. I don't like those, you know, the 6x7D or 7x90 cigars, you know, big giant, you know, donkey blank cigars. So donkey dick, big ass cigar for life. I like cigars that have a small ring gauge, probably around a 45 to 55 ring gauge. So let's see, I'm just trying to find my place. What I've tried for pipe tobacco. So I've tried a lot of pipe tobacco, so I've tried a hell of a lot. Aromatic, English, Balkan, Virginia, Vapor, Burley, English aromatics. I've tried pretty much every type of pipe tobacco blend there is. So I've tried English, aromatic, crossover blends, hybrid blends. I've tried aromatic flavored tobacco. I've tried Latakia, Virginia, Perique. I've tried pretty much all the tobaccos. I smoke pretty much the same thing every single day. Peter Stokkebye 701 Virginia. However, I've tried a hell of a lot of pipe tobaccos. I've tried over 200 pipe tobaccos. I know some people have tried the over 2,000, but I mean, that's a lot of pipe tobaccos. Nice big ass pipe tobaccos for life. How many pipe tobaccos have I, well, I want to mention that I have tried a hell of a lot of pipe tobaccos. I mean, English, aromatic, crossover blends, hybrid blends, Virginias, Burleys, all kinds of Perique blends, Perique Burleys, tons and tons of pipe tobacco, so a hell of a lot. How many pipe tobaccos have I tried? Roughly 265, so 265 pipe tobaccos as of April 3rd, 2018. We are actually done with the first page. Let me just get a sip of water. So, my favorite type of pipe tobacco right now is Peter Stokkebye's or Stokkebye's 701 Virginia. It's actually a blending tobacco, so what it is actually a blending type of tobacco that's used just for blending. So it's a straight Virginia, and I like a nice big ass pipe tobacco for life. What I've tried for cigars, Maduro, Natural, Scoro, pretty much all kinds of cigars, nice big ass cigars for life. I've tried I've tried a lot of cigars. I don't think I've tried really barber poles, but I've tried most types of cigars that are out there. You know, big, small, in between didn't sound right. So I've tried a lot of cigars, so I do want to mention I've tried a hell of a lot of cigars. How many different types of cigars have I tried roughly in terms of brands and types? I would say probably, if I had to guess, probably around, I want to say around 200 or 300. So over the last, 9 years, I've probably tried, I would say around, 200 or 300. So maybe even 400. Now I want to move on to, we're actually down to part one of the, well, not really part one, but the first section of the video. I want to discuss now what I've noticed health-wise. I know some people like this, some people don't like health-related stuff, so you know what to do if you don't like it, click off. Golden rule of YouTube, big ass cigar for life. Now, what I've noticed health-wise in the last 9 years, because pipe and cigar smoking is obviously not healthy, and we are up to 14 minutes, so probably going to split the video around 25 minutes. I've noticed dry gums, dry mouth, dry throat, waking up with a slightly scratchy throat, getting small sores in the corners of my mouth occasionally due to holding the pipe a certain way, and coughing from smoking too frequently and too much. So, first off, I have noticed a little bit of irritation to my gums. I do drink water after I smoke because Rain Dog on YouTube, nice big ass YouTube for life, he had mentioned drinking water after I smoke will help with the dry mouth and the dry gums. Also, I do get a little bit like irritation in the morning. So it's common with smokers. I don't care what you're smoking. you cannot look me in the eye and tell me you don't get some degree of irritation or some degree of a cough. Whether you smoke cigarettes, cigars, pot, I don't care what you smoke, you cannot look me in the eye and say you don't get some type of irritation. So yes, in the morning especially, I get a little bit like a scratchiness in my throat, a little bit like I have to blow my nose a couple times, and I have to get a little bit like an irritation in the back of my throat, a little bit of a cough. So that is common with smokers. I do get a little bit of irritation in my gums, my lips, from holding the pipe in my mouth. I wouldn't call them canker sores, like big old bleeding, gaping canker sores, but I would call them like a little, like the skin is a little bit irritated in my mouth, and my dentist has commented on that, so I'll get to that a little bit later. And I do, if I smoke too much, especially if I smoke too much or too quickly, I smoke a cigar too quickly, like a big ass cigar, I do get a little bit of like a gag and a cough. So especially if I smoke too much in one day, I do notice the next morning I do get a little bit like a heaviness in my chest and a little bit of irritation. So I do get almost like a smoker's gag if I smoke too quickly, especially if I take puffs too quickly, and I don't savor the flavors, and I don't enjoy the flavors. If I retrohale too much, if I exhale too much through my nose and a little bit gets into my lungs, I do notice I get a little bit like a gag, a little bit like a reflux, so a little bit like a cough. So, and you cannot look me in the eye and tell me you don't get some degree of a cough from smoking tobacco or some type of product, because you're exposing your body to a foreign substance. So sorry. What I do to reduce my health risks: moderation, not inhaling, smoking in a ventilated space, not smoking cigarettes anymore, rinsing my mouth with water after I smoke, good oral hygiene, having my dentist check my mouth for oral cancer, etc., etc., etc. So moderation. I typically smoke twice a day, occasionally 3 times a day. Not inhaling, pipe and cigar smoke is not meant to be inhaled. You will cough your effing brains out. Smoking in a ventilated space. For instance, my apartment is smoke-free indoors and smoke-free in common areas, so I can only smoke in one designated smoking area in Massachusetts. So in my parents' house, I smoke in the garage or on their deck, because my parents don't let me smoke in their house. Not smoking cigarettes anymore. I hate cigarettes. They're disgusting. They're nasty. I've been cigarette-free for almost 5 years now. Rinsing my mouth out with water, so every time after I smoke, I have a glass of water to get to purge some of the tar out of my mouth. So maintaining good oral hygiene. I brush my teeth twice a day. I floss once a day. I rinse with mouthwash with alcohol twice a day, and I see my dentist regularly. So I have my dentist inspect my mouth twice a year for oral cancer, tongue, lip, throat cancer, that kind of, or you get the point. So so my dentist checks my mouth, and they do an exam, so I see a dentist regularly. Nice big ass dentist for life. I don't inhale pipe and cigar smoke, and pipe and cigar smoke is not meant to be inhaled. So, despite what some people say on YouTube, oh yeah, all smoke is meant to be inhaled, you're wasting your time, you're wasting your money, you just make your teeth yellow. It's like, you will cough your effing brains out. You will cough your effing brains out if you inhale pipe and cigar smoke. Pipe and cigar smoke is too strong, too much tar, too much concentrated stuff. It's not meant to be inhaled. My doctor and my dentist have said, am I smoking? My doctor has said you have very clear lungs, so my doctor has listened to my lungs and have said, my lungs sound very clear. No sign of wheezing or asthma or pneumonia or anything like that, or bronchitis. My dentist has said in the last time I went to my dentist last fall, I'm not going to use their name because that's their confidentiality, the doctor's name. Your gums look a little puffy, a little bit irritated in places. That's just response to irritation. Same thing as a little bit of gum recession. That's just response to irritation. A little bit puffy, a little bit irritated, a little bit dry, but nothing to be overly concerned with. In other words, my dentist said, nothing that needs attention right away. So my dentist, nice big ass dentist, well, I'm not going to use his name, said as of October 2017, a little bit of gum recession, which is probably due to irritation, and my gums look a little puffy, but aside from that, there's nothing to worry about. No changes to soft tissue, no changes to the epithelial lining, etc. I'm not a doctor, you're not giving medical advice, even though I play one on TV. Big ass cigar for life. My doctor, nice big ass doctor for life, I'm not going to use her name, says you should quit smoking. I mean, it's her medical liability to tell me I should quit smoking, but I'm not going to. You should see a dentist regularly because you smoke a pipe. If you're smoking a pipe, especially with this, the stem rubbing against your lip over and over again, you should definitely see a dentist on a regular basis. Your lungs sound great. You don't sound like you have any sign of like early emphysema or early bronchitis. The biggest thing I can attribute to pipe and cigar smoking in terms of health is dry mouth, dry gums, and dry throat. That's probably the biggest thing I can attribute, and that's why I drink plenty of water and I maintain good oral hygiene. Thank you, Rain Dog, for giving me that advice. If you're still watching me on YouTube, I'm not sure if you're still watching me. What I noticed in my daily life, and we're getting into part one, just to let you know. What I've noticed in terms of my daily life, my throat is a little bit more dry and sensitive. My mouth is more sensitive to hot and cold foods. My lips are a little bit more sensitive to colder weather. I notice if I smoke too much, I get a little bit of a cough in the morning, so I would say my throat is a little bit more dry, a little more sensitive. I definitely notice, you know, my throat is a little bit more dry. I would say my mouth is overall a bit more sensitive, especially to hot and cold foods, not spicy foods necessarily, but definitely like ice cream, like that kind of stuff, especially if I smoke and then have like a bowl of ice cream, nice big ass ice cream for life. I definitely notice a little bit like irritation, so I would say my mouth is a little bit irritated because I smoke. So I notice my lips are a little bit more sensitive to the colder weather, a little bit more chapped in the winter. So I do notice that I smoked especially too much when I was on my low dose of medication a couple of years ago. When I was smoking too much, I was smoking my ass off like a big ass cigar. I definitely notice I do get a little bit of a cough in the morning. So I try to keep smoking twice a day at the most, occasionally 3 times a day. So what health problems don't I have? So we're almost at the end of part 1. I think it's going to be the last thing, and then I'll do part 2. So last topic until part 2. What health problems I don't have? Shortness of breath, wheezing, regular chest infections, yellow teeth, stained fingernails, and my taste and smell hasn't been altered. So first off, I don't have shortness of breath, so I can still do, you know, the carts, nice big ass carts at Roche Brothers. I can still push them without having any problems. I can still take walks in my neighborhood when I visit my parents on the weekends with no problems. No shortness of breath, no wheezing, no like that. I'm faking that. So no chest infections, no regular colds. I probably get sick maybe twice a year, maybe 3 times a year on occasion. I don't have regular pneumonia, regular bronchitis, but granted I don't inhale, so I'm probably more prone to the mouth and throat problems. So no yellow teeth. My teeth look fine. I don't have any stains on my teeth, probably because with pipe and cigar smoking, you don't smoke through your teeth. You smoke, the smoke hits the back of your teeth. So I'm not sure how the back of my teeth look, but I'm pretty damn sure that my teeth aren't stained at all. So, and it might just be the lighting makes it look a little stained, but that's just the lighting in my apartment. So my fingernails are fine, no staining in my fingernails, maybe a little bit, but not enough to even remotely cause for worry. My taste and smell hasn't been altered, so no change in taste. I can taste things the same way I tasted things almost 10 years ago, so no change in taste, no change in smell, no change in, you know, sensorian. So anyway, this is going to be one more thing before I end the part 1, sorry. I want to mention that I've noticed pretty little health-wise, aside from a little bit of irritation in the morning, aside from a little bit of scratchiness in the morning, aside from the dryness in my mouth, dryness in my throat, I have really noticed very little health-wise. Considering how many tobacco products I've tried, you know, a hell of a lot of tobacco products, and considering how long I've been smoking for, I have noticed very little health-wise. I'm not somebody who's like all the time. So I'm somebody who has a little bit of irritation in the morning from the day before from smoking. I'm somebody who has a little bit of a dry mouth on a regular basis. But that's pretty little, pretty damn little compared to how much I've been smoking. So anyway, this is the end of part 1. So I'm going to end part 1 and I'm going to split this video into part 2. See you in part 2. Bye. Big ass cigar for life.